Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 58 in B with me. Today we're going to talk about a restored people on a restored place. This is episode 58. I woke up this morning and I found myself in a thunderstorm. And I got to thinking, why did I awake to a thunderstorm? Well, what a thunderstorm is and an earthquake is, and a bunch of other things on our earth, is the groanings of our earth, the groanings of a fallen place, and of course, the groanings of a fallen people on a fallen place. And in today's passage in Revelation, we find out that God is fixing both of those things. So we're in what's called the last days, and there have been thousands of them, and it's been sort of this yearning for this thing to end. And the day that we hear about today is a little bit different. It's the beginning truly of the last days. So history, such as we've had, is going to be at its end. So this is from Revelation chapter 16, verse 17. The seventh angel poured out his bowl into the air. So this is the seventh plague, the seventh bowl of wrath. And a loud voice came from out of the temple, from the throne, saying, "It is done." Really important words. Verse 18. And there were flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of, get this, thunder, and a great earthquake, such as there never had been since man was on the earth. So great was that earthquake. The city was split into three parts, and the city of the nations fell. And God remembered Babylon the Great, to make her drain the cup of the wine of the fury of his wrath. And then get this, verse 20. And every island fled away, and no mountains were to be found. And great hailstones, about 100 pounds each, fell from heaven on people. And they cursed God for the plague of the hail, because the plague was so severe. All right, so that at this moment in time, we're entering a final phase where, quote, it is done. So it's what Jesus said on the cross. It's what was prophetically said about Jesus in Psalm 22, and what's going to be said later in Revelation chapter 21. And with it, God's sovereign plan is going to be complete. So this mystery of his plan is fulfilled, and the wrath of God is going to be finished. So with this plague number 7, a.k.a. the bowls of wrath, this is the last one. It's going to be finished. So there's been this interval of time where God has allowed, in his sovereignty, the eventual real estate of his kingdom to be occupied by an enemy force. So the Israelites encountered it, that Jesus encountered it. He was tempted, and there's been this resistance to God all the way along. And we encountered it. We wake up to a world with evil in it, not just we wake up to a fallen world and then a world with actual evil. But in heaven, so fast forward here, at the completion of time, we're not going to wake up to evil. I'm not even sure if we're going to sleep. That's not the point. So the world is going to be someday without evil. Every day will be evil-less. And so two things, it will be evil-less, but it will also be on an unfallen world. So all of my days so far, I have awoken to evil. I woke up to an evil world, but then someday we're going to wake up to a world without evil and a world that doesn't have evil. So after God finishes here, all of my days I will awake to no evil and a non-evil affected world. So there's going to be no more wrath against evil, because there will be no more evil. It's going to be put away, separated from his kingdom. So this is good news that God is taking care of evil kind of in two ways, both of evil itself, but also the world that's affected by evil. So Babylon here is this city of evil, representative of evil, perhaps. It's called the city of crucifixion. I don't know if that actually means Jerusalem. But the ruling center of evil is going to be destroyed. Ironically, it's going to be by an earthquake. So let's talk about the earth for just a second. So in verse 20, it says that every island fled away, and there's going to be no more mountains. So something is happening to the earth, the actual earth. So the old earth, that is the one we're sitting on right now, is going to flee and give way to a pure one from his presence. So before his presence, non-holiness cannot be tolerated. So think about this. There's two categories. One is sin in people. So we've been stained by the fall. And the whole Bible is about this redemptive and substitutionary process that Jesus does to fix people so that we're not viewed as stained by sin, so we can be in God's presence. So that's good news for people. The problem with the earth is the earth got affected by the fall, and the earth is stained by the fall. Listen to this from Genesis chapter 3. And to Adam he said, because you've listened to the voice of your wife and eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. And in pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. So the ground is cursed along with Adam's and Eve's curse, from no fault of its own, by the way. But when Jesus comes to our planet, he didn't come to save the earth. He came to save people. The earth is going to be destroyed and renewed. Chapter 21 says, verse 1, then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven, prepared as a bride for her husband. So all that has been cursed is going away. So we're getting a new world, a world with no earthquakes. Ironically, we're getting it by earthquakes. And this thunderstorm is this metaphor for the groanings that our earth is not in the right place right now. So Revelation is a lot about the restoration of a people, and today it's about that because it is finished, it's done. But it's also this restoration of a fallen people on a fallen place. So the beginnings of a restored people and a restored place are what's mentioned here today. All right, so in conclusion, days of evilness are coming, many, many of them. At a certain point, all of our days will be evillessness. And we're going to live to forever, and we're going to get a new world to live forever on. So a world without the fall, without earthquakes, without hailstones. So when you feel an earthquake, or as in this morning, a thunderstorm, this is a hint of the fallenness of our world. It's the world groaning that even the earth is not right. And the Lord is working hard to fix both us, and then here in the passage today, he's also going to fix the earth, and all that is cursed is going to go away. Thanks for listening.